Let me...
You're mistaken, ma'am.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe instead of me. He's a nice guy.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident I came to you.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you.
Am I that easy to read?
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink?
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've got to have one, and it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Huh. Thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
What a coincidence.
So come on, spill it from the beginning. Books I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever has. My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real. The badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine. So I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes. Just in case. My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal. She doesn't seem so dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know. I don't even know what these papers are. I promised myself I'd write a novel one day. I don't even know where the key is. Whatever's inside is gonna stay there forever. The Wild Gentleman. Those guys rebuilt the city after the Great Fire of 867. My heroes when I was a little chick. I'm starting to think they should have left Clawville as it was, burned to the ground. We used to be star cops a few years ago. Tabloid press, radio interviews, and even a book series. I don't miss those days. Of course, Marty, my old partner, would disagree. He just loved the spotlight. This is one of the most beautiful memories from my old life, before Molly left me and took our daughter. M.B. Davis, the eternal king of jazz. The photo is from the days of jazz prohibition. I only heard the old man live one time, but I'll never forget that night. And not only because I woke up at the harbor without my gun, my badge, and my pants. The good things in life don't last long. The best ones always leave first. I saw that in the window of a shoe store. I never understood it, or what it had to do with shoes. Behind that door lies the kingdom of dirty clothes, cigarette butts, and empty bottles.
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Please, that's why I'm here.
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard. Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
Tell me, which part of the city do you live in? Calavera Hills? Flowerville, maybe?
Look, I don't want to answer that. I'm here on behalf of my employer, and not on personal business.
Fair point, Deborah. Let's try a different approach. Why did you have to visit me this particular evening?
I have my reasons. I may look like a silly little fawn, and maybe I am, but I still have common sense.
I don't doubt that for a second, Miss Ibanez.
This day is essential to my mistress, and she thought it's also important to you.
A message in itself, for sure. But to be honest, even you are.
You know what? I'll just take that as a compliment, even if it wasn't meant as such.
Were you born and raised in Clawville?
Why do you ask?
I couldn't think of anything better.
Well, I'm not from around here. I'm from Grassmore. Maybe you could hear I have a slight accent. Do you know where it is?
Where what is?
Grassmore, of course. You just asked.
Oh, that. Don't worry about it. I'm not interested.
Huh. Do you like to play with other animals?
Oh, for the wild ones. Am I that transparent?
I'm afraid so.
Well, I'm a little rusty, it seems. Let's change the subject, shall we? Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself?
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
How so?
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that. How did you get this address?
You know, my mistress has exceptional connections.
If they were so exceptional, she wouldn't have chosen me.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Detective. You are the head of the famous chicken police, am I right?
Was it a raccoon with a scarred face called Zip who recommended me? He hates me.
No, Mr. Featherland. I don't know anyone like that.
Lucky for you, Deborah. What exactly did you expect by coming here to meet me?
I expected your help, just like my mistress said.
Well, that's very nice. But have you seen this neighborhood? Have you seen this wreck called a hotel? Who were you hoping to find in a place like this?
Someone reliable.
Well, I am reliable.
And discreet.
That's right.
And thorough.
No question about that.
And has a heart of gold.
Okay, let's stop it right there. Are you in some sort of jam?
Nothing of the sort. There are simply things better left unsaid.
Then you're wasting my time.
I trust your instincts. You'll manage it.
Yeah, and I have no other choice, right?
To be honest, no, Mr. Featherland. Not really.
Have you ever felt truly vulnerable?
Honestly, very often, Mr. Featherland.
Great, because that's exactly how I feel right now, Deborah.
I'm sorry if it's too unpleasant for you, but we had no one else to turn to.
You know, I get that a lot, and it never ends well.
Do you like happy endings?
Not in books or movies, but in real life it would be nice for a change. But this is Clawville. Not many happy endings around here.
I knew you were romantic at heart.
If what's between me and my whiskey could be called romance, then yes, maybe, a little. Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Smart answer. Be honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him...
Ibn Wessler, the Kingpin.
Exactly.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything. Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints. You know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
Please, take a look at this.
Well, okay. Let's see.
Bravo PD, how can I help you?
Nothing. Forget it. Who is this dame, anyway? And what the cluck is she doing in my apartment on New Year's Eve? Legs that go on for days. Deep, dark eyes. Silky skin and voice. You're in big trouble, pal. Legs that go on for days. Deep. Legs that...
Don't you want to look at it? The message I gave you.
Yeah, of course, Deborah. Give me a second. Yeah, of course, Deborah. Give me a second.
I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman. N.
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
Mr. Featherland? Santino, are you all right?
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Don't play innocent with me.
But...
All right. When can I visit?
Visit? Me?
Not you. Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
No, she's really not like that. But She owns the place.
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko, but there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
Exactly. How did you know?
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Sonny.
I'll talk about the rest with Ms. Katsenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
Legs that go on.
Thank you again, Mr. Sonny.
Don't mention it, Deborah. I had no other plans for today, except drink. But tell me, do you have a light?
I'm sorry, I don't smoke.
Thought so. My bedroom. Sort of. Hey, Lewis. Am I bothering you?
No. Of course not, Sonny. Old friend, what's up?
Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy.
For you, anything. Just a minute.
Lewis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here. Not to mention that he's a rabbit. It was a quick hop. The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it. And now, besides me, he was the only resident of this enormous place. The good old rabbit. I can always count on him, even on New Year's Eve. Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to take care of.
Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you.
Thank you for being so considerate, Sonny. I appreciate it.
Don't mention it.
Goodbye, then.
So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I've got a feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job. And there's only one bird in this city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me. I can always count on you. Thanks, old buddy.
Don't even mention it, my friend.
You got anything planned for today?
I thought I'd visit a nightclub. It's New Year's Eve, after all.
Well, I didn't mean to hold you up.
I'll ask a favor of you someday.
I owe you a lot of those, don't I?
That's true. I don't deny it.
I knew where to find Marty. At the station, we'd always draw straws about holiday duty. Marty never joined in. He always took the New Year's Eve shift, even though he had someone to go home to. I understood. 10 years ago, we survived the night the press called the Bloody New Year. Forgotten by Clawville, but not by us. We both left parts of ourselves behind that night. Phyllis and Roy's. Two hedgehogs with an arrogance typical of novice cops. They're as prickly as they look. Officious little shitheads, but harmless.
Well, look at that. Hey, Sonny, what you scratching out over here? I heard the big boss threw you out.
Tough luck, boys. I may not be on duty, but I'm still a cop, just like you. Well, more than you.
Hey, you don't have to be so peckish, old bud. By the way, you're on luck. Blood Boil's not in tonight. Malloy is in charge.
Oh, gods. That clumsy buffalo is here tonight. If he doesn't end up in a cell again, he's lucky.
You got it.
You looking for Marty, eh?
I see you're still the brains around here, Phyllis. Yeah, I'm looking for Marty. Birds of a feather flock together.
I see you're still the funny guy round here. You'll find the giant feather duster at the shooting range.
Hey, Royce, I'm telling you this because maybe you'll be able to understand. If this prickly shithead makes another racist remark, I'll strangle him with his own raincoat.
I'd love to see that.
Hey, whose side are you on, you jerk?
By the way, what's with the raincoats? Couldn't you find an umbrella?
Why, Frank says it'll be rain, and see, it's raining. He's a frog, so he must know.
Yeah, well, I'm a rooster, but I hate getting up early.
Raincoats are just fine, okay. You have a problem with that, Sonny?
No, just, you know, the spikes sticking through and all.
Is something wrong with our spikes, chicken?
Yeah, you know what? Just forget it. Back in the day, I used to patrol the city streets in one of these. I don't miss it, but it used to have its advantages. If you drive a cop car in Clawville, you can do almost anything you want. Until you've got the red and blue on, nobody asks a damn thing. Maybe that's why cops are the biggest gangsters around here. If you drive a cop car in... Did you miss me? No, same here. Every time this poster disappears, good old Blood Boil puts it right back, immediately. I tore it down at least 3 times already. Actually, it's a kind of passive-aggressive game for us with the chief. I'm sure it's Blood Boil himself taping back the torn-off posters, like some maniac. He must have a dozen of those things in his bag for emergencies. This happened when that old bloodhound, Blood Boil, was promoted to chief of police. Here we are again, Clawville Police Department. I've never been good at history, but if I'm not mistaken, this place has been a church, a hospital, and even some insane cult's secret hideout over the years. Anyway, the place holds the secrets of the ages, and some drunk pigs in the basement. Monica Rosen. Receptionist in theory, but in reality, she's doing literally everything around here. Like the beating heart of the PD. She's too good for this place, even for this city. Hey, Monica.
Hey, Boss Bird. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be celebrating somewhere?
Every day's a holiday since I got out of here.
I can tell. But what are you doing here? Are you here for a file? You know, I'm a little busy right now.
Yeah, you could look after a few things for me, but first I'd like to talk to Mr. Big Beak McChicken himself. Those 2 prickly assholes told me he's emptying the magazines in the hole.
Like always. And if he carries on like that, he's gonna use up all our ammo. So it would be nice if you drag him out of there. You know how this day is for him.
For him?
You know I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so just sign here and you're good to go.
Thank you, darling.
Don't mention it, Boss Bird.
Mort Mardigan, a notorious deadbeat. Poor guy's been blind since his teenage years, but that doesn't stop him from running into trouble. What the cluck did he do this time? Mort, you scabious beast. What the hell did you do?
It's Morty to you, sonny boy. Everything's fine. There was just a bit of trouble in the bar, and someone got knocked on the head with a glass. It wasn't my fault. I'm as blind as a bat, am I right?
Did that ever bother you, Morty?
Listen, sonny boy. Go tell them to leave me alone, eh? It's New Year's Eve, after all, and I didn't even do anything wrong. Not that wrong.
Where's your little lapdog to get you out of this mess? Is that little pimp of a midget still sniffing around you?
Jesse is a good boy, sonny. And he's good to me, believe me.
Oh, God, spare me the details. When will you finally realize that little shit's been using you?
Oh, of course he's using me. What could a pretty boy like him want from this old monster, eh? Still, sonny, I have no one else. You understand that, don't you?
Even you deserve better, pal. By the way, you look horrible, even for yourself. Are you feeling okay?
Well, I'm not what I used to be. But neither are you, judging from your voice. But I'm seeing a doctor, sonny boy. I really am. Are you?
Don't need to, Mort. I'm fine. Anyway, if Bubo prescribed you something, don't even think about taking it.
I don't talk to that insane owl.
Damn right.
Please, say something on my behalf, okay? I really don't have time for this detective buffalo shit.
Hey, careful with that. Buffalo Malloy is the chief today.
Like I care.
I'll try to speak for you, but keep it down till then, okay? You don't need this shit, and I don't need it either.
Sonny boy, you've always been a good friend.
More like a clucking pigeon. Detective Chowhound Bosco. He thinks he's a real alpha, but nah, he's just a lapdog.
Holy wild ones, look what the cat dragged in.
Hello to you too, Bosco. I see you're busy, as always.
I've been sniffing around one of the rundown joints. You know how it goes. And boom, this son of a lizard comes flying out the window. I didn't know that lizards could fly. So, Mort was being a bad boy again. Nothing unusual. And you? Still dying?
I'm still a cop for another 121 days, Bosco. It's as unpleasant to me as it is to you.
All right. No need to bite. I wasn't trying to mess with you. You have Moses and Plato for that. And of course, blood boil.
Let's hope I won't run into any of them tonight.
Looking for Marty, eh? Ever since you left, he's kinda lost. He's trying to hide it, but he's not the same bird.
Well, I don't think we'll have a teary reunion, thinking about how we parted.
Let me give you some advice, Sonny. Let him rage. He'll be the same after that. Anyway, he was the one that shot you, right? You should be mad, not him.
It's not that simple, Bosco, but we'll see how he reacts. Thanks anyway.
No worries, pal.
Honor, strength, unity. For the love of the wild gods, I'm gonna be sick. We used one of these as target practice once. Not out of disrespect. We were just too damn drunk. Marty drinks this shit. I've never tried it, but I'm pretty sure it's gross and probably toxic. All it takes is one look, and my comb starts to tingle, which never means anything good. All it takes is one... One of Blood Boil's favorites. Mainly because he's a dog, of course. Officer Jardine. They say she's clever, smart, and dangerous. We need more of her kind in here. This is gonna be a hard ride. Last time we saw each other, he had a smoking gun in his hand, and I was bleeding. I don't know how we can get past that, but it's worth a try. Long thighs and a big gun. That's Marty's idea of a perfect woman. Can't blame him for it. Hello, Cassandra. I hope we'll meet again. Oh, God, I'm starting to sound like Marty. Marty looks good. Big and loud and angry as always. Hey, Marty.
Oh, well, look who's here. Hello, Boss Bird. What, are you lost? This is the PD building.
Cut the shit, Marty. We're better than this.
Well, at least you are. Better than anyone, huh?
Marty, come on, let's forget that. What's past is past.
Easy for you to say, Sonny.
Damn it, Marty, you shot me, remember? I almost bled to death.
Hell yeah, I remember. Unfortunately, my aim wasn't good enough.
I need your help, okay? That's what you want to hear.
Well, it's a start.
Okay, I've said it. I won't do it again.
Yeah, right.
So, are you in? Just for tonight. Small case. We'll wrap it up in no time.
What kind of case?
A personal one.
How personal?
Very. The kind of case where if you come with me right now, you're not on duty anymore.
Ooh, damn, Sonny. Stop it right there. I'm in.
That's it?
Do you know how boring life is here without your stupid, reckless shit? Soon enough, I'll shoot all the ammo in here out of boredom.
I'll tell you in the car.
Ooh, can I bring Bertha?
Ah, for the love of... Marty, this is a routine case. You can't bring your shotgun, okay? Bertha stays.
Okay. But at least Susie can come, right?
All right. Susie can come.
That's what I want to hear.
Marty looks good. Big and loud and angry as always. Hey, Marty, what about Laura? How come she didn't eat you yet?
Yeah, very funny. We're good, by the way. Mostly. As good as we can be after all these years.
Glad to hear it.
She asks a lot about you.
Really?
Yeah. She always hated you for getting me into trouble all the time.
Understandable.
But she also felt sorry for you.
Oh, well, thanks. That's much better.
If I'm honest with you, she loved the chicken police, Marty, better than this one.
Well, I think I'll take that as a compliment.
Whatever, Sonny. So, Sonny, you still limping?
The pellets tore my right hip to pieces. So, yes, the doctor says I'll limp forever.
Good to hear that.
Fuck off. Marty looks good.
Can we go finally, or are you waiting for a big warm hug?
Let's get out of here before I get detained for gutting you.
Lovely and peaceful as always. Welcome back, Boss Bird. Can we go finally, or are you waiting for a big warm hug?
Let's get out of here, but...
Lovely and peaceful as always. Can we go finally, or are you waiting for a big warm hug?
Let's get out of... Molly. Hey, there were 4 weapons here. Where are the others? You're not bringing them with you, I hope.
Well, we're going to a bar, aren't we?
Yeah, that's the point.
And? What?
A buffalo killer and 2 handguns? We're only there to sniff around, not start a goddamn war.
Ah, war, bar, what's the difference? And it's frickin' New Year's Eve, right?
Of all that's furry, you know what? I don't even care.
That's the spirit.
Seriously, Marty, why the hell do you need 3 guns?
Who said I have just 3?
Seriously, Marty, why the hell do you need 3 guns?
Who said I have just 3? Bye, Mandy. See you soon.
You've named the poster girl. You a bit lonely these days?
You're one to talk. I've heard you muttering to her.
What, me? To a poster? Don't be silly.
You know, the broad in the picture really was a cop.
Was? Why? What happened to her?
She shot herself while cleaning her gun.
What a waste.
You know, the broad in the picture really...
my ex-wife. What do you have to do with all this? Marty looks good. Marty looks good. Big and loud and angry as always.
Can we go finally, or are you waiting for a big warm hug?
Let's get out of here before I get detained for gutting you.
Ah, lovely and peaceful.
Seriously, Marty, why the hell do you need 3 guns?
Who said I have just 3? Who said I have just 3?
Seriously, Marty.
You know the broad in the pic... You know the broad in the... You know the broad...
Can we... Let's get out of here before I get detained for gutting you.
Ah, lovely.
Marty looks good.
Can we go finally, or are you waiting for a big warm hug?
Let's get out of here before...
Ah, lovely and peaceful. Can we go finally, or are you waiting for a big warm hug?
Let's get out of here before I get detained for gutting you.
Ah, lovely and peaceful as always.